Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the launch of an exciting new webinar series, the Did You Know series. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Cardaci. I'm the president of Haig Service Corporation. This webinar series is an effort on our part to do more for our clients and partners by sharing our industry knowledge and bringing current issues to the table with experts in collaborative conversations. Haig Service Corp specializes in full security, life safety integration services, which include fire alarm, CCTV, access control, intrusion, as well as robotic cleaning and disinfecting in New Jersey and Florida. It's important to stress the relationships that we have with i3 and Softbank, as well as other manufacturers we support. Today, we're joined by two industry experts and good friends of mine, George Karaolis from i3 International and Rick Treleaven from Softbank Robotics North America, to discuss how AI is transforming school safety and learning environments from the industry experts. When we look at our industry today, it's clear that AI isn't just an emerging trend. It's quickly becoming the standard for how we think about safety and integration. The technology allows us to move from reactive solutions to proactive ones. That means smarter video analytics, real-time alerts, and data that helps administrators make informed decisions before issues escalate. Through our partnerships with i3 International and Softbank Robotics America, we're seeing how these innovations directly impact K through 12 environments. Whether it's monitoring entry points with advanced cameras, managing access control, or deploying robotic cleaning and disinfecting, AI strengthens both safety and the day-to-day learning experience. Another major benefit is consolidation. For years, schools and organizations have had to deal with multiple vendors, platforms, and systems that don't communicate with each other. AI allows us to bring all these critical services, fire alarm, CCTV, access control, intrusion, and robotics into one integrated dashboard. That single source approach reduces complexity, lowers costs, and gives educators and administrators confidence that every piece of the puzzle is working together seamlessly. Haig Service Corp is proud to be recognized as a super regional security and life safety provider in the New Jersey and Florida markets. We've been honored as a 7-time inductee into the Inc. 5000 list of the fastest growing companies in America, and we currently rank number 63 on the SDM Top 100 list of security integrators. These achievements reflect more than 50 years of dedication to perfecting our craft, delivering trusted integration solutions that keep people safe. With that, I'm excited to turn things over to our partners and industry experts, George Karaolis from i3 International and Rick Treleaven from Softbank Robotics North America, to dive deeper into how AI is transforming school safety and learning environments. George?
No, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. Before we get started, a quick introduction. i3 International has been in business for 35 years now. When I started with the company 25 years ago, I was actually one of 4 employees. Fast forward 25 years later from when I started, we now have over 160 employees in 4 different countries, making i3 International one of the largest NVR camera manufacturers in North America that is privately held with no VC money. We have the largest development team of any private NVR manufacturer, and as a mid-sized company, we never forget how we got started, and we still run our company with that family culture mentality, one customer at a time. Today, my goal is to share with you why customers are taking advantage of i3's technology in today's current situation and how we can leverage the same technology for added value. I've actually known Mark now for more than 10 years, and at Haig and i3 International, we understand that safety and security are at the heart of every school and township. Our solutions go beyond cameras. They provide intelligence, awareness, and tools that can help protect the community while being simple and easy to use. Schools today face real challenges, and cameras can play a very powerful role in addressing them. First, unauthorized access. Strangers or trespassers on school grounds are a constant concern. With facial recognition and license plate capture, schools can identify threats in real time and monitor vehicles entering or leaving campus or unwanted people, whether it's restraining orders or whatever the case might be. Second, bullying and vandalism and fighting. Incidents often happen in hallways, stairwells, cafeterias, and with cameras, Schools gain visibility and evidence for investigations and the ability to spot patterns so staff can intervene a lot earlier. What you're seeing on the screen now is vaping and substance misuse. This is huge. A lot of school boards, there's nobody can put cameras inside the washrooms, and it's very difficult to monitor. But our systems integrate with vape detectors, so we can monitor live events and in real time and send push notifications to the right staff instantly. And we can see the outside track of who entered and exit, giving schools visibility where they need it the most if people are vaping or doing other substance abuse in the washroom. At the same time, the same technology can monitor weapons and emergency threats. Sadly, gun violence is a very, very top concern. Our integration with the gunshot detection technology tied to video provides instant awareness and real-time alerts to law enforcement, helping schools act quickly. The same technology can also be used for slip and falls and liability issues. Accidents happen in cafeterias, hallways, outside. With slip and fall detection and long-term video storage, schools have the evidence they need to protect students and defend themselves for any litigation. Students' safety drop-off and pickup is also a concern. Parking lots, bus loops, very busy and sometimes dangerous. With license plate capture and traffic monitoring, schools can ensure a safer flow and accountability. Lastly, privacy and compliance. We know students' privacy is critical. That's why our system includes privacy modes with blurred technology to blur out all the people in the video except the person of interest to protect sensitive areas when needed. Ensuring secure encrypted networks with privacy modes in mind, keeping video under control and data protected is crucial. When video needs to be shared with law enforcement or anybody else in that matter, it can be sent through our encrypted video transfer platform, ensuring it's safe, secure, and fully compliant. Finally, ease of use. Although we have all of this technology, we understand schools don't have a large IT team at each school. Our dashboards are clear, mobile friendly, and designed so any administrator or principal can get the information they need in seconds. In short, at Haig and i3 International, we don't just provide cameras. We deliver a complete safety platform from real-time vaping alerts to gunshot detection, slip and fall monitoring, secure storage, and encrypted video sharing. All designed to help schools and townships protect their students, the staff, and the community while staying simple, secure, and effective. Appreciate your time. I will pass this over now to our friend Rick from Softbank Robotics. Rick, can you share some of the technologies that you can provide?
Absolutely. Thanks, George, and thanks, Mark, for allowing me to be a part of this webinar series. A quick background on Softbank and my background. Softbank, and in particular our robotics division, we're the largest investor and deployer of commercial robotics globally. Our goal is to go out and identify dull, dangerous, repeatable tasks that are ripe and mature for automation. The outcomes that we're looking to do are provide frequency, consistency, and reliability. We're always out to identify those challenges and work with our clients to understand, hey, what are the outcomes that you're looking to achieve? And is there an avenue for automation at this point? One very turnkey, mature technology that is ready for prime time and is very much in the market at this point is floor care robotics. Both higher education and K through 12 environments have already started embracing this technology. It's allowed for more labor reallocation. Schools are now held to a much higher cleaning standard coming out of this COVID era. So how do you do more with less? How do you guarantee the safety and the well-being of the facility? Well, by offsetting, large-scale vacuuming or scrubbing, that allows a technician to go and do more high-touch tasks, cleaning classrooms, cleaning bathrooms, increasing the overall efficacy and well-being of the facility. These are some of the things that we've already been able to address with school districts throughout the country, and as I mentioned, in higher education environments as well. So that's a quick background on Softbanks and some of the things that we've been doing in the educational space.
Great, thank you. I appreciate the background on certainly exciting technology. I will tell you, as a preferred technology partner with Softbank, we're having these discussions almost daily, and a couple of things always kind of come to the forefront is in questions, and how is this going to affect my staff? Are we eliminating staff, and really, what's the cost? Am I saving money, or am I adding incremental money and still continuing to have my Jan-San staff? These things just continue to pop up. Budgets are stretched, budgets are tight. You don't want to go back to the taxpayers and ask for more money for a robot per se. And so what are you seeing out in the field?
Yeah, it's a great question, Mark. I think one of the things is, again, those themes of frequency, consistency, and reliability. If you can guarantee it via a set fixed cost how much a particular task is going to cost this school district, that's an added advantage. You know exactly how much floor care in certain parts of your building are going to cost. You're also going to be guaranteed that that task actually gets done. We have reporting metrics that are available that will showcase, yes, an elementary school, the first floor east wing, was cleaned, or maybe it was not clean. And then, hey, maybe there's change management aspects that we might have to look at where, how do we change the way that these schools are being cleaned? What times of day? So those are the mechanisms that are in place to ensure that the job is actually getting done. And that's the value through automation.
Yeah, it's interesting. A couple of other things that come up in our conversations are lost time due to injury, which I never considered until we got into the robotics world with you. Lost time due to slip and falls. I know, George, you touched upon that, and you're very familiar with slip and falls and various verticals that you deal with. But there's a cost that's incurred just from fraudulent lawsuits and what have you. But it's actually a savings, not a cost that maybe not anticipated when you're looking at the overall expense, of the unit. So, how effective are these units in terms of coverage, in terms of limiting, fraudulent lawsuits and injuries? And, let's start with Wiz. What's the carpet area that a Wiz will handle in what particular time frame, and what can we expect to get coverage wise from that unit?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see from the photo, there's 4 different robots. There's no one size fits all solution. So we're always trying to figure out, hey, let's put the right right solution based off of the environment. For a smaller elementary school, we may be putting Wiz, which is a vacuum sweeper, getting around 5,000 square feet per hour. Maybe in a larger senior high school, that might require the vacuum 40, which is in the back area, that white machine in the back right row. That's averaging a little more than 7,000 to 12,000 square feet, depending on the environment. The other 2 applications are scrubbing applications. Rather than perhaps using a traditional mop where you have to put up a sign saying, hey, you don't want to go into this area, there is powerful suction technology that's built in that is alleviating slip and falls risks. Some of the other risks that we think about the well-being of the staff that's taking care of these tasks. Think about the repeated motion of an upright vacuum. That's a tremendous strain on back and wrists and wrist, claims. So if you can go to your staff and say, hey, listen, you're not having to vacuum or scrub this long hallway and put that strain on your back or on your wrist, that's a huge win for your overall staff experience.
Yeah, it sure is, and it's something I never considered, like I said, until we got into the robotic world with you. And I will tell you, one of the last questions that comes up often and comes to mind. You had mentioned earlier, you've got a Jan Stan staff that may or may not show up. Frankly, they may or may not do the task they're assigned to do, and within that particular time frame, they may or may not fill out the ticket properly, or even worse, fudge a ticket. I know people. I'm not trying to paint them in a bad light, but that's the reality. And so what's the assurance that these units are actually being used, deployed? How do we know it's working?
Yeah, great question. And it's one of the most important things is when you're evaluating robotic technology, you need to have a pathway for the application actually going and being used. It starts with the installation process, the team training process, and then mapping out a schedule. To ensure that that schedule is being followed, we have back-end software analytics platforms that will ensure, hey, was the technology operating when we have it scheduled, set up to operate? Some of that might be a manual process where you have to have an operator physically start the unit, but we also have technology that's available that you could have scheduled automatic starting of the units. And then back to the reporting, it's the verification that the cleaning actually happened. So proof of clean is huge value to stakeholders throughout the school district.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I will point out, and I forgot to mention earlier, that in our partnership with Softbank, we are the only provider in North America, and I don't say that lightly, it's true North America, where we put these units out on a subscription basis. So we don't ask you for X amount of thousands of dollars. We make it a monthly cost. So to Rick and George's point earlier, they're budgeted dollars that you have, and it's a fee that is not a surprise every time there's a deployment of a unit. And so, Rick, I appreciate you joining us. And for those of us that are on the call with us here, thank you again for joining us. When we talk about a singular dashboard, we have Wiz and Scrubber 50 and the other products that are stored in the cloud. We have video from i3 International, the video analytics, that's all stored in the cloud. You're dealing with Haig service and our life safety solutions through building reports. That data is stored in the cloud. So if an inspector shows up and looks for reports, everything is on one singular dashboard. And that's really when we say we want to be the single source solution for all your data and all your service issues. Everything is right there on one dashboard and right at your fingertips. So it's the blending of technology, the blending of AI that really makes this an exciting proposition as these three platforms talk together, and it kind of limits the exposure to multiple vendors. So the expression is one throat to choke. We want to be that and provide all the solutions that we can possibly can for your buildings. As you know, we're preferred vendor for ed data throughout the state. We probably have at least 50% of the Board of Educations in the state. So we're very familiar with the applications, the environments, and the solutions that are needed to help you move along in your daily life. So if that's it, Rick and George, again, I appreciate your time. We'll open up to any questions to the group that's on joining us. There's an old friend of mine, Mr. Petnato. I saw you pop up, Rick, but I didn't see the question. I'm sorry.
Yes, Jim, yeah, thank you for your question. Yes, we can put out daily, weekly, monthly reporting. Custom reporting is available. So, hey, how much square footage was covered? How many hours did the units operate? What was the amount of time, what we call an assist? So let's say a bag needs to be changed or a battery needs to be changed. What was the time between the technician getting notified to then that issue being resolved? So we're always, trying to figure out, okay, hey, what are other metrics that are really important to our customers? So it's something that is continuously evolving. But yes, daily, weekly, monthly.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for your question, Jimmy. Anybody else?
I see in the Q&A chat, Sarah posted, this question's for me. It says data privacy is one of the biggest concerns with so many cameras on campus. How do we know our video is secure, private, and compliant with regulations? Okay. That's probably one of the most important areas we focus on at i3. Our platform is SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, which means it meets strict independent standards for data security. We layer that multi-factor authentication, SSO, and SAML integrations, and full encryption. In addition to that, we designed our software to work with outbound traffic only if we ever need to view any video behind a firewall, so nothing from the outside ever connects in. And we back it with our patented technology for secure video storage and sharing. And that includes our encrypted video transfer directly to law enforcement if needed, if there's a shutdown or an emergency that needs to happen. So thanks, Sarah. Hopefully that answers the question.
Okay. Anything else, Sarah? Is monitoring the data board? I see one popped up for me. It's actually twofold. How long have we been working in New Jersey schools, and how can AI help us manage the older security systems without replacing everything? Very good question. So, Haig server has been around for over 50 years. We started focusing on the Board of Education's, and it really in a way to kind of diversify our portfolio about 25, 30 years ago. Long before I started with the company, our owner and his father started the company, and that's kind of where they melded the company into there. From that, like I mentioned earlier, we are the preferred vendor in the entire state of New Jersey on the Data Co-op platform for fire alarm and intrusion. And with that, comes a lot of knowledge, and we're a Honeywell associate. We deal with the Gamewell product primarily, and their technology is kind of backwards compatible. So as the new panels come out in the field, the devices that are in the field, the actuating devices, whether it's smoke alarm, pull stations, et cetera, they're primarily backward compatible. The units now are self-testing, eliminates a lot of the time it takes to do an inspection in a building, which is important. As you know, the summer times are a busy time to get all the work done with any school system. So the quicker we can get in there and do our inspections to comply with codes and various reporting that we need to do for your building so you can keep the building open, the better off it is for all of us. So short answer is, yeah, the systems are pretty much backward compatible. They work with older field devices for the most part. And yet you have the new technology within the brains of the unit that are in the field in the control panel. Okay. Anyone else, Sarah? Anything else? Nope. Well, we promised a half hour. I'm going to give you 4 minutes back. I thank you for your time and your attentiveness. I really appreciate you joining us. This webinar is the first in a series of Did You Know for us. This one is in support of the New Jersey School Board Association show. We'll be at booth 320. So please, if you're down in Atlantic City in a couple of weeks, please stop by, say hello, mention the webinar. And we'll see what we can do to help you out. But again, appreciate your time and your attentiveness. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day and the week.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.